In this video, I'm going to show you the best cameras for travel you can get at every price range. No matter your budget, I will help you find the best pick for your needs. Let's go. First, we are going to take a look at the best options in the under $500 range. First, we have the DJI Osmo Action 4. The larger 1/1.3-inch sensor on this camera is a real game changer for travel, giving you much cleaner and brighter video when vlogging at sunset or exploring a dimly lit market, which is noticeably better than what I get from the GoPro. I absolutely love its magnetic mounting system, which makes swapping it from a selfie stick to a backpack strap incredibly fast, and the battery holds up way better in cold weather destinations. While the video quality is fantastic, it is purely an action camera, so you do not get any kind of optical zoom like you would on the OM system, meaning you just have to get physically closer to your subject. Next, we have the OM System Tough TG7. This camera is the one I'd grab for a truly rugged adventure because it is waterproof down to 15 meters and shockproof right out of the box without needing any extra housing like the GoPro or DJI. Having a real 4x optical zoom is a massive advantage for travel photography, letting you frame distant landmarks or wildlife perfectly, a feature the action cameras simply cannot offer you. That being said, its video stabilization is just not on the same level for smooth walking shots, and due to its smaller sensor, the image quality suffers quite a bit once the sun starts to go down. Finally, we have the GoPro HERO12 Black. The hyper-smooth 6.0 stabilization is just unbelievably good, making my bumpiest hiking footage look like it was shot on a professional gimbal, plus the 5.3K resolution gives you so much room to crop your videos later. Its super wide field of view is perfect for capturing those epic landscapes, and the massive ecosystem of mounts means you can creatively attach it to literally anything on your travels, far more than the others. However, the battery life can be a real pain when shooting in those high-quality modes, so you will need spares, and its low-light video performance, though improved, still shows more noise than the DJI Osmo Action 4. Next, we are going to take a look at the best options in the $500 to $1,000 range. First, we have the Canon EOS R5. This camera is ridiculously small and light, making it a dream to pack for any trip, and its uncropped 4K video at 30 frames per second combined with Canon's amazing autofocus makes it an incredible vlogging tool. I love that it has a fully articulating screen for getting any angle you need, but the mostly plastic body does feel less durable in my hands compared to something like the Fujifilm. The biggest issue for a traveler wanting to expand their kit is the very limited selection of native RFS lenses, which means you'll likely need to use a bulky adapter for more creative shots, unlike the other two cameras on this list. Next, we have the Fujifilm X-T5. This camera just begs you to take photos on your travels with its beautiful retro design, metal body, and satisfying manual control dials that feel fantastic to use. The image quality from its 26.1 megapixel sensor is stunning, and Fujifilm's famous film simulations let you capture photos with beautiful colors straight out of the camera, which saves a ton of editing time on vacation. The main weakness for travel, especially if you like to film yourself, is that the screen only tilts up and down, making it much less versatile for vlogging than the flip-out screens on the Canon and Sony. Finally, we have the Sony ZV-E10. This camera is a purpose-built travel vlogging machine featuring Sony's lightning-fast autofocus, a fantastic built-in 3-capsule microphone, and a fully articulating screen. It shares a huge strength with the Fujifilm in its access to the massive Sony E-mount lens ecosystem, giving you endless options for any kind of travel photography or videography you can imagine. The absolute deal breaker for me as a photographer, however, is the complete lack of a viewfinder, which makes it incredibly difficult to compose your shots in the bright sunlight you often find while traveling, a problem you will not have with either the Canon or the Fujifilm. Next, we are going to take a look at the best options in the $1,000 to $1,500 range. First, we have the Fujifilm X-S20. I absolutely adore this camera for its out-of-camera colors thanks to those famous film simulations, meaning I can spend less time editing photos and more time enjoying my vacation. It packs a new, much larger battery and a fantastic fully articulating screen that makes it a vlogging powerhouse for capturing your adventures, something the Ricoh just cannot compete with. However, the biggest letdown for me as a traveler is the lack of weather sealing, so you do have to be a bit more careful with it in dusty or rainy environments. Next, we have the Sony a6700. Honestly, its autofocus is on another level. The artificial intelligence subject tracking is so ridiculously good that I never worried about missing a shot of a moving person or vehicle, a clear advantage over the Fujifilm. This camera also gives me more peace of mind on the road because it has some dust and moisture resistance, and the sheer number of available compact lenses for Sony's E-mount is a traveler's dream. While it is a technical beast, I find the colors straight out of the camera require a bit more tweaking than the XS20 EOS, and the menu system can sometimes feel like a puzzle I do not want to solve while on holiday. Finally, we have the Ricoh GR3. This is a completely different beast because this thing is genuinely pocket-sized, making it the ultimate stealth camera for capturing candid travel moments without drawing any attention. It has a stunningly sharp fixed 28mm lens and in-body image stabilization, but you have to understand that unlike the Sony or Fuji, you cannot change lenses, so what you see is what you get. The trade-off for its tiny size is a pretty weak battery life, so I always had to carry at least 2 spares, and it really is a photo-first camera, as its video capabilities are nowhere near the level of the other two. Next, we are going to take a look at the best options in the $1,500 to $2,500 range. First, we have the Fujifilm X-106. This camera is an absolute dream for street and documentary style travel, packing a massive 40.2 megapixel sensor, and finally, in-body image stabilization into a body so compact and stylish, you will want to take it everywhere. The fixed 23mm lens is incredibly sharp, and the famous Fujifilm film simulations give you beautiful images straight out of the camera, but you are completely stuck at that one focal length, which can be frustrating when you want to capture something far away. While its leaf shutter is whisper quiet for candid shots, the inability to zoom makes it less versatile for an all-in-one travel solution compared to the other two options here. Next, we have the Sony a7C II. This camera is a tiny titan, somehow squeezing a 33 megapixel full-frame sensor into a body that is shockingly small, giving you unbelievable low light performance and image quality for your travels. With Sony's interchangeable lens system, you have endless options for creativity, and its artificial intelligence-powered autofocus is mind-blowingly good at tracking people or animals, ensuring you never miss the shot. However, the compact size comes at a cost to ergonomics. The electronic viewfinder is quite small, and once you attach a versatile zoom lens, the entire setup becomes much larger and heavier, defeating some of its initial size advantage. Finally, we have the Fujifilm X-T5. This feels like the serious photographer's travel camera, offering the same fantastic 40.2 megapixel sensor as the X106, but with the critical advantage of interchangeable lenses. I absolutely love the dedicated physical dials for settings like shutter speed and ISO, which makes the shooting experience so tactile and engaging, and its weather-sealed body gives you peace of mind in unpredictable conditions. While it has amazing image quality and great in-body stabilization, it is the largest and heaviest camera of the three, and its tilting screen is less friendly for travel vlogging than the fully articulating screen on the Sony a7C II. Next, we are going to take a look at the best options in the over $2,500 range. First, we have the Leica Q3. This camera feels like a piece of art in your hands, giving you a simplified, luxurious shooting experience with its fixed 28mm f1. 7 lens, and a massive 60 megapixel full frame sensor. For travel, it's amazing because you just grab it and go without thinking about lenses, but that's also its biggest weakness. You're stuck with that wide view, which can be limiting compared to the other two cameras here. While the build quality is incredible, and the new tilting screen is a much needed upgrade, the high price and lack of versatility make it a very specific choice for a traveler who values simplicity above all else. Next, we have the Sony a7CR. What's amazing here is that Sony packed a huge 61 megapixel full frame sensor, the same one from their flagship model, into a body that is unbelievably compact and lightweight for travel. This camera gives you insane image detail and access to Sony's huge library of E-mount lenses, making it way more versatile than the Leica while being significantly smaller than the Canon. The main trade-off for that compact size is the single memory card slot, which always makes me a little nervous on a big trip, and the smaller electronic viewfinder isn't as immersive as the one on the R5. Finally, we have the Canon EOS R5. This camera is an absolute powerhouse and the most professionally oriented of the three, with a fantastic 45 megapixel sensor, incredible 8K video, and an autofocus system that feels like it can read your mind. The dual card slots give me great peace of mind when traveling, and the robust weather-sealed body feels like it can handle any adventure you throw at it. But its biggest strength is also a travel downfall. This is by far the bulkiest and heaviest camera of the bunch, and when you add one of Canon's excellent RF lenses, it's a much bigger package to carry all day compared to the Featherlight A7CR. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you found this video to be helpful, leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future.